Lesson 2.1. Our objective is to solve equations using the addition and subtraction properties of equality. Equation: a statement that two expressions are equal. Solution of an equation: a number that produces a true statement when substituted for the variable in the equation. Inverse operations: two operations that reverse each other. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations, and multiplication and division are inverse operations. Addition property of equality: if A is equal to B, then A plus C is equal to B plus C. This means that you can add the same number to both sides of an equation. Subtraction property of equality: if A is equal to B, then A minus C is equal to B minus C. This means that you can subtract the same number from both sides of an equation. Rules for solving equations. Number 1. Your goal is to isolate the variable on one side of the equal sign. Number 2. Always perform the same operation to both sides of the equal sign. And number 3. To undo an operation, perform its inverse operation to both sides of the equal sign. Example 1. Decide if the number is a solution to the equation. Before we actually solve any equations, we're going to do some problems where we're checking to see if a given number is a solution to the given equation. And the way we do that, we just take the number and we substitute that back into the original equation and we see if it makes a true statement. For this example, we have 6 problems. We'll work 3 together, then you'll do 3 on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. The first equation I have is x minus 5 equals 14. Well, we're checking to see if 19 is 19 the solution to this equation. So I know that I just need to make my substitution. I'm going to substitute this x with a 19, and then that becomes 19 minus 5 equals 14. Well, 19 minus 5 is 14. So that is a true statement. 14 equals 14. My left side equals my right side. So I know that 19 is a solution. So I'm just going to put yes. I'm putting yes that it is a solution. When I check my next one, I have x plus 9 equals negative 7. I want to know, is negative 14 the solution to this equation? Because if it is a solution, when I make that substitution, it should be a true statement. Well, when I make my substitution, that becomes negative 14 plus 9 equals negative 7. Well, negative 14 plus 9 is negative 5. So we know that clearly that is not equal to negative 7. So this one would not be a solution. Negative 14 is not a solution to this equation. So I'm just going to put no. I'm saying no, that negative 14 is not a solution to the equation. Now I think I'll skip down. Let's move down some. I think I'm going to do this one with this decimal. I have x plus 3.75 equals a negative 10.9. And we're checking to see if negative 14.65 is a solution. Once again, the way you check, you simply make your substitution. When I make that substitution, it becomes negative 14.65 plus 3.75. I want to know, does that equal 10.9? Okay. Well, when I work this out, that does give me a negative 10.9. And since my left side equals my right side, I know that this negative 14.65 is a solution. So once again, I'm just going to put yes. It is a solution. Now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video. I want you to work the remaining 3 problems on your own. Once you're finished, restart the video so that you can check your answers. Okay, if you've restarted the video, that means you're ready to check your answers. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, let's see which ones we have to check. Okay, our next one that we're going to check, x minus 12 equals a negative 30. We're checking to see if negative 19 is the solution to this equation. So once again, all we're doing is we're substituting that variable x. We're going to make a substitution and change that to negative 19. So that becomes negative 19 minus 12. Does that equal negative 30? Once again, if your left side equals the right side, then you know it's a solution. Well, negative 19 minus 12 is actually a negative 31. And I know negative 31 does not equal negative 30, so my left side does not equal my right side. So negative 19 is not a solution to the equation, so I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to put no, and I'm saying no, that negative 19 is not a solution. Let's check our next one. We have x plus 19 equals 52, and we want to know, is 33 the solution to that equation? Make that substitution. That gives me 33 plus 19 should equal 52 if it's a solution. So 33 plus 19 is 52. So it means my left side equals my right side. So I know that checks out. So that means that 33 is a solution to the equation. So I'm going to say yes. And then for the last one, let's come down. Let me move it up just a little bit. I have x minus 41 equals 85. I want to know, is 128, is that the solution to the equation? Once again, I make my substitution. That gives me 128 minus 41 should equal 85. Subtract 128 and 41. That actually gives me 87. So that means that it is not a solution. Why is it not a solution? Because 87 does not equal 85. So that means that 128 is not the solution to the equation. So I'm just going to say no. Okay. So now that's the last one for that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. Use the addition and subtraction properties to solve the equations. With this example, we have 6 problems that we're going to work. We're going to work 3 together, and you'll do 3 on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. The first equation that I have is x plus 3 is equal to 15. Now I'm pretty sure most of you all can look at this equation and you know right off the bat that the answer is 12, because 12 plus 3 will give you 15. Well, it is important for us to work these simple examples and to learn the correct process in solving equations. So when you get to more difficult equations where you just can't look at it and tell what the answer is, you'll know the correct process. So let's go ahead and get started and go through learn the correct process in solving equations. Once again, on this first one, I have x plus 3 equals 15. Well, I know that my goal is to isolate the variable. So this variable, I want to get it by itself. I need to get it by itself, so that means I need to get the 3 away from it, okay? I'm also going to draw a little line down right here, and I'm doing that just to remind myself, whatever I do to the left side, I must do it to the right side. And then, okay, what do I need to do in order to solve this thing? I look at what sign is in front of the 3. It's x plus 3. So in order for me to get rid of this 3, I have to do the inverse. I have to do the opposite of plus 3. So that means I need to minus 3. And if I do it on the left, I have to do it on the right. Remember, it's an equation, and I have to keep it equal. Okay? So whatever I do on the left side of the equation, I have to do it on the right. So now I look at the x plus 3, and I'm going to write down what I have left. I have 3 minus 3, which is 0. It cancels itself out. So I'll bring down what I have left, which is just x on the left side. Bring down my equal sign, and then I have 15 minus 3, that's 12. So my final answer is 12. X equals 12. Now let's check this first one. We're not going to check all of them, but I'm going to show you how to check your answer. You check your answer just like we did in the first example. We're saying that x is equal to 12. 12 is the solution. So we're going to substitute the 12 back into the original equation. So that's going to give us 12 plus 3. And if it's the correct answer, it should equal 15. And 12 plus 3 is 15. It checks out. That lets you know you have the right answer. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. On this one, I have x minus 8 equals a negative 6. So what I focus on, I need to focus on that sign, minus 8. And I know that I have to do the opposite. I do want to go ahead and draw my little line down. That'll help me to remember that whatever I do on the left side, I always have to do the same thing on the right side. So if I have x minus 8, the opposite or the inverse of minus 8 is plus 8. So that means I have to add 8 to both sides. Okay? Now look and I see what I have left from this. X minus 8 and then the plus 8, of course it cancels itself out. Bring down what I have left. Bring down my equal sign. And negative 6 plus 8 is 2. So that means that my final answer is 2. Okay? Let's try one more together. Okay, let's look at this one. I have x minus 7 is equal to 20. I focus on the minus 7. I know I have to do the opposite. Draw my little line going down. Help me remember what I'm doing. So if I have x minus 7, the opposite of minus 7 is plus 7. So I'll need to add 7 to both sides. So now I'll bring down what I have left. Bring down my x. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0. That cancels out. Bring down my equal sign. And 20 plus 7 is 27. So that means that x is equal to 27. Now I want you to go ahead and pause the video. I want you to work the remaining 3 problems on your own. Once you are finished, restart the video to check your answers. Okay, if you finished working your problems, let's go ahead and check your answers. Let's look at the next one real quick. We have x plus 6 is equal to a negative 20. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw my little line down so I'll remember whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. I focus on this plus 6, and I know I have to do the opposite, the inverse of plus 6, which is minus 6. I'll do that to both sides of my equal sign. So that gives me x equals negative 26. So that means my final answer is x equals negative 26. Check these last 2. On the next one I have x minus 5 is equal to a negative 13. Go ahead and draw my little line to help me stay focused. And I see that I have a x minus 5. I know the opposite of minus 5 is to add 5. So I'll just simply add 5 to both sides. What am I left with? On the left, bring down the x. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0, so it cancels itself out. Bring down my equal sign. And on the right, I have negative 13 plus 5, which is negative 8. So my solution here is x is equal to negative 8. And then the last one, I have x plus 2.23 is equal to 4.63. Let me draw my little line down. Whatever you do to the left, you have to do it to the right. Remember that through every lesson solving equations. If you do it to the left side, you have to do it to the right. That's how you keep your equations equal. Okay? Then I focus on this plus 2.23, And I know I have to do the opposite. The inverse of plus is going to be to subtract 2.23. I'll do that to both sides of my equation. Okay, and let's see what we have left. Bring down my x. 2.23 minus 2.23 is 0. Bring down my equal sign. And 4.63 minus my 2.23 leaves me with 2.40. So that means that my solution is 2.40. That's my final answer.